I have a confession to make. I don't like to sharpen knives. I don't. It's not my favorite thing to do. I'd rather be doing other things. And any product that makes that quicker and more successful is a positive in my book. Since I got the Precision Adjust system from Worksharp, I haven't really used anything else because it makes it look like I'm really good at sharpening when really I'm not that great at it. I've never been able to successfully sharpen with stones, and frankly, I don't have the patience to learn. So this is the perfect system for me. And then on Monday, Worksharp released a brand new version of this tool. Check this thing out. This is kind of amazing. All of the things they learned from the Precision Adjust, they then implemented in this brand new system. And it covers things that, well, I didn't ask for, but now I'm really thankful that exist. So we're gonna talk a lot about this and why if you're, well, either a noob or you hate sharpening, this might be the right one for you. Now, it has actually been almost an entire week since the release of this product, and a number of reviews have already been put out. Zach did his initial review last week, and frankly, I don't have much more to add. And Jared, who is basically a professional knife sharpener from Neves Knives, he did his, and I don't know what else I can do beyond these two reviews. And then I realized something. I don't like to sharpen, and I'm not that good at it to begin with. So if I can put a great edge on a knife with this system, you probably can as well, even if you've never touched a sharpening system in your life. And I have some pretty gnarly chef's knives that, well, I've been used and abused, and they really, really need a brand new edge. So we're gonna do that, but we're gonna, beyond that, we're going to not give it a polished edge. In the instructions, they describe how you can actually make a quick, toothy edge, and that's actually kind of my preferred thing. I kind of like a little bit more bite. So we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do it in a really cool way. I have a new toy that I wanna show you guys, and it's a perfect opportunity to play with it. This is actually a microscope, and we're gonna take a look at the edge in a video, before and after, and kind of see how good this system really does, up close and personal. So without any more delay, let's go ahead and get started. Now, I fully admit that I have not done a great job maintaining either of these two knives. I've used them a ton. They're more than a decade old, but I haven't sharpened them or maintained them as well as I probably should. Let's go ahead and take it to the microscope so you can see exactly what it looks like. And don't be too mad, okay? And if you're a knife lover, you might want to look away at this point. Okay. So as you can see, there's a little bit of surface rust on this. We're actually going to get a little bit closer. There we go. Get this thing all blown up. And then refocus. There we go. Now you can really see it. All right. Look at all those chips, dings, rust marks. Got a lot of work to do on this knife. So we're gonna put a brand new edge on it completely so that we can, redeem myself, to say the least. And we have a broken tip as well. So that all needs to get fixed, as you can see, and the same thing's gonna be true here. I think I was a little bit better with this one, but not that much. There we go. You can see the chip marks. Another really beat up edge that definitely needs some help. Now these are Damascus steel. These were a gift from my father. And I've used the dickens out of them. But it's time to restore them. And so now with that, in that context, let's go ahead and take it to the professional system and show you how this is able to sharpen large blades. I had every intention of showing you the sharpening process for this particular knife. What I did not realize was just how bad that blade actually was. Once I started going with the 220, I noticed that even though I could get a sharpened edge across the whole blade, there was still areas where the cut-in for the mistakes, like the chips, if you will, were so dramatic that I had to remove a lot of material, like a lot of material. So I ended up doing about 20 passes each side with the 220 grit. It took a little bit longer than I'd like, and so I'm just going to show you the stropping portion, and I did realize I need to do this because it has a burr on the bottom. You can kind of feel the edge. Yeah, you can feel it. And I need to knock that off. So we're gonna do that real quickly, and then we'll move on to the other blade and I'll show you the full process for that one. Now that I know what I'm getting into, I can kind of talk about that. So with the strop, we're only gonna go down across the edge. We're not actually going to go up unless you'd like to destroy the strop. So just kind of drawing it this way. And I'm lifting, then I'm gonna pull this up. We're going to lift this, like so. Back down. I love that system, so nice. Now this is the edge, it's got the burr on it, so this should knock it off, or get close to knocking it off. There we go. I think I got it. Pretty close. All right, so it's very, very toothy, very, very sharp right now. And we can undo that. Whoa. Now I'm going to show you under the microscope here in just a second. We did make a pretty big improvement, but it still needs a lot more work. So let's go ahead and show you under the microscope. Pull this up over here. All right. So by comparison, I mean, it's still, you could see some of the material, and you could still see the edge needs a little bit of work. You could see the burr there. But by comparison, this is a massive jump. Now you see that little chip? That is something that was one small amount of a very, very, very large chip in this blade. But this is way, way, way better than it actually was before. And now it actually has a proper tip. Now we're gonna do the same thing. Okay, sorry, let me focus that so you can see it. We're gonna do the exact same thing with the other knife. And I think you can kind of see how the process goes. Because I did make a mistake at the beginning that I'd like to prevent others from having. So let's go ahead and get to that. So I'm glad I had two blades here, because if I had missed this mistake and showed it to you guys, it probably would have caused some problems. Here's the good news, is we saw the problem and we fixed it. It says it very clearly, by the way, in the manual what you're supposed to do, and I didn't do it. So the first thing you need to do is set this up on the flat surface that you're working from and hit 0. So once you 0 it, you're good to go, okay? Then you can set it up with setting the angle. If you don't do this, you're going to end up having bad results and not know the exact angle that you have set. So that was a big mistake. I would not recommend it. Read the manual first on this one. Definitely don't throw this out. All right, so nice thing here is we actually have an open clamp. Just set it up right in the middle there. Tighten it up. I love the pressure plates. That wasn't the case, I don't think, with the Precision Adjust. This is much nicer. Super secure. Love it. Wow, that is really good, actually. Anyway, so we have the 220 set up again. I'm going to warn you, I'm going to speed this up at like 6x, because this blade isn't as bad as this one was, but my guess is it's going to take quite a few passes to just get it even serviceable. This is absolutely a sharp, usable blade, but still probably needs another reprofiling because of just how damaged it actually was. So I can do that with this system, and now that I know that I'm locked in on 17 degrees, I can actually do that every time. So that's great. So here we go. Once again, we're going to take the system and we're going to lay it flat like so, and then we're going to take our measurement device, turn it on, and it says 17.5. So when I had this set up with this blade, I had 17 degrees because notice that it's a lot shorter. And so here we have to make a small adjustment to the angle. There you go. So now it's at 17 degrees. So the thickness, or the tallness, I should say, of the blade does have an effect on the angle. So there you go. So we'll take that off and then we are ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to be speeding this up quite a bit. I won't be talking. I'm just going to be working on it, and it is going to take a lot of work because we are going to be reprofiling it completely. This took way longer than I expected because the damage to this blade was severe. I think I would like to see an option for a plate that attaches sandpaper to the outside. Something like that would be really, really cool, especially since they have this magnetic attachment system. I think it would be really useful to have something so that I could use even, I don't want to go to 80 grit, but maybe 120 grit to get rid of a lot of the material before I start using these diamond plates. This took a lot longer because I had severely damaged the blades. So I'm going to finish up with the strop really quickly, and then I'm going to show you what I have. Actually, one thing that I should mention, even though you're going to use like that method where you jump from, say, 220 to 600, I still think you should probably use a hone in between. So we're going to do that really quick. I'm going to hone the edge on both sides. We'll strop it, and then we'll take a look. All right, and then the hone, and sorry, then the strop. So I'm lifting as I'm doing it. I love that this thing sits, I love that part about this, that you have this little stand and the ability to rotate. Just, it's so elegant. Such a nice design. All right. Okay, there we go. That's as far as I want to go with this. This was painful, to say the least, because I seriously neglected these knives. So for those who are knife lovers, I apologize that you had to watch such a thing, but here's the good news. I think we have dramatically improved it. So let's take a look under the microscope, shall we? All right, so let's take a look, shall we? Pretty darn good. Let me focus in on that. There we go. I could not get that blemish to go away. I don't know what's going on with that. But all in all, I think I did a pretty decent job. It just needs, well, it needs another run. Even on the other side. Let's focus in on. Not half bad. For something that was so damaged, I'd call that a win. And actually this side looks a little bit better, in fact. So, can you do this as a novice? Absolutely. Just follow the instructions in the manual. Now, the last thing I want to do with this, which is kind of the cool part, I want to show you how I've figured out how to store this entire system. So let me show you what I was able to do with this system. Now this is the Apache 3800. Now I got these on sale ridiculously. They were less than 30 bucks. And now I'm really thankful I did, because I was able to fit this system in without any major muss or fuss. So in the first tray, you're gonna have to pull a 7x4 section. Each one of these little cubes pulls out. And so that's a good way to measure it. It's pretty much always the same. You're gonna need 2 spots for your screws, and you're gonna need another 7x4 square over here. You're gonna also have to take out that bottom piece. You're not gonna need it anyway, and you'll see why. So if I pull out these 2 components and this whole tray, then I have my selection right here. You're never gonna have to take this out, and basically from the bottom foam piece, you're gonna need a 1-inch diameter here, 2 on either side, and then 2 on the bottom. And that should just fit everything in. Then everything goes back in like this. Boom, and there you go. So, if you like this video, dislike this video, let me know down in the comments. And what more should I do with that microscope? I got some plans, and I didn't know I needed it until now, but actually been really, really cool to be able to use it in this video. And like I said, if you want to get access to this system, there should be some hitting the website basically right now as you're watching this video. Thanks again for your time. I really do appreciate it, and we'll talk again soon.